Greetings everyone, this is Bakar Corby from TFT Perspective, and today I'm going to discuss an article which appeared in the Jung group, including the news by Ansar Abbasi. He's a very responsible journalist regarding Lieutenant General retired Faiz Hamid case, and it appears that a deliberate effort or inadvertent effort has been made to twist the facts. In which I think what he has mentioned that one General Faiz Hamid denied any, let's say, serious linkages with 9th May, and the other is that he was already in touch with number of politicians, 50 of them as it mentions. Majority of them were politicians from Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, but some of them belong to other parties like PMLN and Pakistan People's Party, and maybe some religious parties. The other thing is the sources that he has quoted. So it makes it quite dubious, especially looking at the timing. Now, if you look at the press release by Inter-Services Public Relations, which came in the press, that Field General Court Martial of Lieutenant General Faiz Hamid was now in the final stages, and he has been indicted. So it means the charges have been framed, and the list was given to the press, which includes political involvement, then of course trying to work against the state and the military chain of command, then of course issues like involvement in high-handedness, and as we know, he was involved in one of the real estate houses where they try to basically grab in their allegations of corruption, and then is an orchestrated campaign despite warnings by the military. Now this article actually tends to deflect, and it's very easy now, because in the post-truth environment, basically we've all become digital tribes, and a digital tribe belonging to a particular group, a party or an ideology is willing to accept anything irrespective of the evidence as far as it supports their party or their narrative. So this is very easy now, that those, let's say, people who follow PTI will take this news to be factual. Now, if you look at the process in Field General Court Martial, basically he is in military custody, so it means that other than his own counsels, in case the process has already started, there is no other connection. He can't come out in the public and, let's say, defend his case or, let's say, make a narrative. So when he says sources and then Lieutenant General Faiz Hamid denying, I think is a very normal thing. Maybe you have people who commit murders or let's say heinous crimes, they would also deny it, because that's how the counsels would. So I think denying could be a very normal thing if he has done it. And denying does not affect the trial in that sense, because trials are based on evidence, and these are not based on let's say some frivolous information coming from sources and then trying to basically twist the facts. Were they family sources? Were they friends? How could they have let's say direct access to Lieutenant General Faiz Hamid? So I think this makes it very dubious. The other is, I think, the responsibility, like Jung Group, which includes Geo and their entities in print and electronic media, is considered to be the oldest and one of the oldest and one of the most responsible media houses, and people do follow it in millions. They should have some editorial policy. It can't be that anyone can publish anything without the oversight. So I think there was some slackness there also. Now, maybe it was inadvertent or based on, let's say, analysis and speculation, that this news was published in such a manner that it dilutes basically charges on Lieutenant General Faiz Hamid in the public domain, not in the legal sense, because legally everything would depend on the evidence produced. It can't be based on, let's say, hearsay or something, some reports coming from the sources. Evidence will be presented in the court, and I'm sure the evidence would include one is, of course, physical evidence, then there's a documentary evidence, digital, forensic, and then maybe there are certain connections. So saying that he was in touch with some of the politicians because of frivolous reasons, like maybe for jobs of certain people, which again is a confession. I think this is going against Lieutenant General asking politicians for favors. The other is that he is denied any linkages, so maybe he's done it or not. But main thing is that this report comes at a time when there are serious allegations and the trial has, I would say, entered the final stage. There's going to be prosecution and hard evidence will be put in front of him. Military would never charge, a 3-star officer then of the level of ex-DGI on frivolous charges. So I'm sure. So the point to note is one, of course, is that timing of this article looked dubious. Was it to favor, let's say, those social media warriors of PTI sitting outside to churn, some funny type of story and dent the, let's say, proceedings of this trial, or it was done inadvertently? We basically asked the Jung Geo Group to actually look at their editorial policy, because it's a big media house. It has same amount of responsibility. But to cut it short, in the post-truth era, you can do anything. We have seen how Mr. Trump or Mr. Modi behaves, or some of their leaders who are post-truth, I would say, tribal chiefs, like Bolsonaro of Brazil. And we have seen how PTI has been twisting this narrative in the last 2.5 years, that they would bring in fake news and then twist it, but not expected from Ansar Abbasi or Jung Geo Group. So main thing is that they should be responsible and authenticate important critical news before these are published. Thank you very much.